because she's so bubbly and it's contagious, and she's hilarious. She's a firecracker. I love Janae, and I feel like Kenny is a little more grounded, and I just think they're a really good, authentic match for each other. So I really, really loved them. I think they will last a long time. Then Serena and Cordell are winners. Our winners of the season. I think they totally deserved it. They just gave good old-fashioned Love Island television, you know. They had the highs, they had the lows, they had the Casa Amor drama, they had the groveling, and, you know, I really do think that Cordell's, like, Instagram caption summarized it all. He was like, came into the villa as a boy, and I left the villa as a man, and you love to see it. So, I liked them together. I definitely was like shaking my fucking head at a lot of the stuff that Cordell was doing this season, but I think it all worked out in the end. So then to finish off the BPGs, which I do love them together, we have Leah, Janae, and Serena. We have Leah, and I'm also gonna talk about Miguel and Rob. So as for Leah herself, I really, really liked her. She definitely was the people's princess, and I can see why. But she was messy, girl. She was messy, and that kind of surprised me because I am an avid Love Island UK enjoyer. So I've seen every season of Love Island UK. I will say I did kind of fall off the latest season because I was too busy with US, which was a surprise because I've never felt any sort of connection to any of the previous Love Island US seasons. So this was a first, but as for like the previous UK seasons, the UK is kind of ruthless. Like, they do not let you be the like people's princess if you're too messy. I would say maybe besides like Mora and Ekansu. But when I think of like Molly May, she's, you know, she's not controversial at all in a way that like Leah is allowed to be, and I just thought that was kind of interesting. But I loved Leah. I think she was great TV. I loved the clothing, her outfits, like all of the girls and a lot of the guys. I think they had really good fits this season. As for Leah and Miguel as a couple, I don't know about that one. I don't know. Here's the thing. I like Miguel as well. I think he's great. I love a little UK flair added to the season. There was a lot of people that weren't American, and I think that helps because so much of what I love about UK is like the British slang. It's like comforting, it's funny. And so I liked Miguel as a cast member for sure. But Leah and Miguel together, I just don't know if I personally get the vibe that they will last forever. I feel like they're kind of just, I'm sure they like each other. I'm sure, you know, they're attracted to each other. They definitely had chemistry, but as for them like going the distance, I don't know. I feel like they're kind of just riding out the wave right now, and I don't see it lasting forever. But I am glad that she ended up with him and not Rob, because there was no way she could go back to Rob after the Andrea situation. You know, it wasn't gonna happen. But I did love Rob. I loved Rob. He was my guilty pleasure fave of the season. He was just good TV. Very rarely do you get a man that's like a shining member, top of the cast. Like, it's always the girlies that are carrying as per usual, but Rob was just a standout. And it's funny because I remember him being pretty forgettable when he was in Casa Amor, the original she's like offline, like online and off the show in real life. She did kind of give me an ick a little bit. I think she gave Rob an ick too. That's fine. But yeah, I wish the girls wouldn't have sent her home, honestly, because I think there was more drama there that we could have gotten, but that was the gag of the century. Oh my god, my jaw hit the floor. So it was good TV. Next, Aaron and Kaylor. Flag, Aaron. Me and my boyfriend, my fiance, I'm so sorry, oh my god. We say that to each other probably like once a day. We'll just be like, flag, Aaron. It's everything. It's up there with like Lektate or whatever. And Tomei. Oh, Love Island quote Hall of Fames. I love this show. Anyway, as for Aaron and Kaylor as a couple, God, they were just like frustrating. Frustrating as fuck. Aaron to me is like a walking ick. That's Aaron. And then Kaylor. Kaylor is like an American. That's the American girl right there. That is your American girlie. So I did cringe a lot with her, but I felt empathy for her. You know, I understood her. I've been friends with many a Kaylor in my life, and I'm glad that she finally like left his ass and they're not together. Thank God, girl. But it was painful watching her like refuse to stand up for the entire summer. It was kind of giving me like Liberty and Jake, but worse. Like Liberty and Jake from Wish. So yeah, not my faves. Then we have Nicole and Kendall. I did not love Kendall in the show. He just wasn't. He gave me the vibe of like wanting to fit in so bad. Like I could not tell what was his real personality and what was him just like trying to like be on TV or make friends or what. Like nothing really felt very authentic from him. And then Nicole, I actually felt like complimented him well. She kind of grounded him a little bit, and I liked them on the show. I thought they were okay. But the drama afterwards, if you're not up to date, if you didn't watch the reunion, you're not on the Reddit threads, I don't blame you. But to recap, basically, Kendall had some spicy videos leaked when they came out of the show, and apparently they were taken in the hotel before he went on the show, but he lied about it. And that really made Nicole mad, and she was so embarrassed and mad that he lied that she basically decided to like flame him on television during the reunion, and they broke up. That kind of gagged me a little bit. It felt weird. It felt like to me, it didn't feel like it was about the lie. I think she has 100% a right to be upset that he lied, but he obviously has apologized. He wants to make it right. And I think, like, if you can't get over your significant other making a mistake, whatever that is, whether they lie to you, whether they cheat on you, whether they do XYZ, if you know deep down that you will never be able to, like, fully get over it and you'll have these trust issues, leave them. And I think her and Kendall could have worked on it, like, from Kendall's side, but I don't think she ever could have, like, trusted him again, so she needed to just leave and stop trying to embarrass him on television. But I'm not gonna lie, it also kind of gave that she didn't like the connotation of the videos, which, girl, I like my man with a little fruit in his salad, if you know what I'm saying. So, that, I don't personally, it felt weird. It was like, it felt inappropriate. It was like, girl, everyone agrees that you have the right to be upset about the lying and him, like, keeping things from you. But the way you're going about talking about it feels weird and a little bit heartless, considering what he just went through, what he's still going through probably. So I did not like Kendall on the show. He did kind of give me an ick, but now I kind of wish him the best, and I wish Nicole the best too, but they obviously were not right for each other, and that's okay. I didn't really expect them to last super, super long anyways, but I didn't expect that to be the reason why they broke up. I'll tell you that. I was like, damn. Okay. Then we have Liv. I liked Liv. Liv was just like the ultimate girl's girl. And she didn't give us much in terms of romance, but I felt like she was just the constant like wing woman for all the girlies, and I really appreciated that. So she was cute. And that is all I have to say about the people on Love Island US Season 6. If you haven't seen it, if you've watched the UK, definitely watch Season 6. If this is your first time watching Love Island and you haven't seen Love Island UK, you need to. It is the best. I love it. Start from you can start anytime, honestly, but my favorite seasons are 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But they're all really, really good. So, yeah, I love Love Island. Okay, next show that I binged this one in 3 days. It is the new release on Hulu, The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. Now, you may or may not know, but I was raised in the Mormon church. My family and then me subsequently left the church when I was 11 years old, but I was raised in the church. I'm born and raised in Utah, grew up here my whole life, so I am very, very connected to the show, and I was very, very curious to watch it because just like Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, which just to briefly kind of throw it in, I did watch the premiere, and it was so good. Mary was on one. When Mary said it had to have been recent because you don't have a purse when you're little. We wear fashion, not costumes. Anyway, iconic. When Real Housewives of Salt Lake City came out, I was really, really excited to see what it was like, and then not many of them are Mormon. It doesn't really connect as much to the LDS church, but Real Housewives of Salt Lake City is a masterpiece. If you haven't seen that, oh my god, you need to. It got me into watching the Real Housewives franchise, so that then led me to Vanderpump, which we'll talk about later. Anyway, great series. But so I was excited that this show seemed to be like a Real Housewives sort of vibe, spin-off, kind of very similar energy, but all about Mormon women. And I will say, the show doesn't really show much about what actual Mormon faith and going to church is like, and what it's like to be a active member, and what it's like to what the scriptures teach, and it doesn't really showcase that too much, but it does perfectly showcase the Mormon Utah social culture, and what made it really, really difficult for me, even as a little girl, to stand by when it came to the church. Just the way that Utah Mormons are so judgmental. They all cherry pick parts of the faith that they do or don't agree with, and then excuse why they can, break these rules or whatever, while simultaneously judging and shaming other people for breaking different, for sinning differently than them. The drama combination of the snobby middle to upper class Mormon attitude and Mormon culture. And so in that case, it's everything. It encapsulates how it doesn't matter what you do in the Mormon church, in the LDS church. I feel like religion should be there to help people who are at their lowest, who are sinning, who need faith and hope. And that is where the LDS and the Mormon church stands alone, is they only cater to the perfect person. And it doesn't matter what you do within the church, how you behave, they will find a way to judge you and ostracize you a little bit. They will. It's all about, hey girl, shake your hand, can you come to the Relief Society meeting to your face, and then talking so much shit about you behind your back. And so it's fascinating. It's a great show. If you have not seen it, it's great. It also talks a lot about Utah culture, like the soda shops, how we are all obsessed with our soda here, me included. I'm not gonna lie. Listen, I'm not a cop. I love me a good 32-ounce dirty Diet Coke. And there's so much drama. You've got marriages and families just falling apart. So, anyway, I loved Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. Let's talk about the couples individually. First is Taylor and Dakota. So, Taylor is the only mom on the show that is confirmed to have been in the swinging scandal. The show doesn't really go into it that much. I recommend getting into, like, watching some videos about the swinging scandal, or like going into that before you watch this show as backstory, because they don't give you enough context. But Taylor was the only one involved. The other two women and their husbands, they declined to be a part of the show, I think because Taylor was on the show. But anyway, she's not with her husband. Her and her swinging husband, they've separated, and now she's with this new guy, Dakota. They have what I would say is a pretty unstable relationship that probably should not continue, but hey, I'm not trying to judge. But Dakota is a recovering drug addict. Taylor obviously is healing after the swinging scandal, and then she goes to jail for domestic violence, and then she's healing from that when she gets pregnant with Dakota's baby. And I will say Taylor is one of my favorite moms on the show because of her growth from the beginning to the end. At the beginning, she's kind of poised to be maybe like the potential villain, but then by the end of the season, she has a full like redemption arc, and she learns. You can tell she's like really working on herself, and she's accountable for her mistakes. So she kind of ended up being a bit of like an anti-hero. I just think she needs to kick Dakota to the curb. Like, he's just dead weight, girl. He's just dead weight at this point. Stop having unprotected sex with these men, respectfully, and kick Dakota to the curb. But I love Taylor as a castmate, and I'm excited to see more of her. Hopefully they renew it for, I'm sure they're gonna renew it for season 2, right? Okay, next we have Taylor's nemesis and the actual villain of the show, Whitney, along with her husband, Connor. Now, Connor is hilarious because you could tell this man is like having an identity crisis or something. Like, he has a new look every episode, like a completely different haircut, completely different aesthetic style. It's like me when I was in middle school, and I kind of love that. I'm like, Connor, keep finding yourself, babe. Don't you worry about it. I actually think he looked kind of good with like the gold chain. I think people were clowning on that look, but I was like, why was that my favorite look? Why was that my favorite one? I don't know. Connor because the church loves to label pretty much any viewing of pornography as an addiction. So it's hard to tell like what that actually means. Kind of touchy territory to get into, but that's what they say. And so they say because of this addiction, he has been all over the dating apps on Tinder, and he's been sending nudes back and forth and having romantic online relations with women throughout their entire marriage. Look, whatever, if you want to stay together for the kids, that's all fine and dandy, but that man cheated on you and he probably will do it again. But whatever, Whitney is not ready to hear that. She's going through her own stuff. She is the villain of the season. Honestly, I don't even want to talk about Whitney, you know what I mean? It's like, I feel like everyone is kind of harping on Whitney a lot, and I just feel like everything that needs to be said has already been said, and at this point, I do kind of feel a little bit bad for her, because I think she just needs a little bit of a reality check, and I think she's trying her best. And I don't know, she is just one of those people that like, she likes to dish it, she loves to dish it, but she cannot take it. She cannot reflect and look back at herself and be like, oh, you're right, I was wrong for this and I'm sorry. Like, where Taylor is really good at accountability, Whitney is the opposite of that. So yeah, that's pretty much all I've got about them. They're kind of whatever. They're fading into the background anyway. And honestly, my favorite people on the show are the other people. I like Taylor, I love Demi, and I love Jen. I think Jen is fascinating to watch, but we'll get there. Let's talk about Macy. I don't remember her husband's name, but I feel like Macy she gives me like Libra energy. She gives me like, she kind of just is in the middle. She's like Switzerland. She wants to be neutral, but that's a red flag to me. Like, my philosophy on it is always a friend to all is a friend to none. You know what I mean? And Macy kind of gives me that vibe. She just tries to be neutral with everyone, and I don't know. It's funny because she's considered a saint. Like, she's very active, but then she seems to be like very chill and relaxed. So it kind of just feels like she goes with whatever the vibe is, and I don't like people like that personally. I like people that are gonna like stand in their convictions, stand for what they think, more like Demi or even like Jessie. So Macy's okay. She's cute. Then we have Layla. I actually really like Layla. I hope we get more scenes with her. I liked her divorce party. I thought it was funny. And I just think she's super sweet. She just seems like very bubbly. Bubbly. Then we have Jen and Zach. Jen is one of my favorites. She's just, her facial expressions, like, she's so entertaining to watch when she's with the girls. I think she's a great personality. And then the drama with Zach at the end, man, that was good television. Like, that was just giving juice, giving gossip. The text message, like, and then people are zooming in on Reddit and seeing that he's like slurring in it. Mess, and I love mess. Do I think she's gonna leave that man? No. also did a lot, like, she's the one that wants to get in on the drama. I don't know if she actually likes the other girls as much as she just likes having mutual people to hate on. You know what I mean? I don't know. That's just the vibe that I get, but I do see her hair company, her billboards, like, all over Salt Lake City. And so, like, get your bag, girl, get your bag. But yeah, so that's my thoughts on the secret lives of Mormon wives. I think it's great. I think it's a pretty good look into Utah culture. So definitely check it out. Next show I'm going to talk about is probably my favorite reality show of all time. Big Brother. Big Brother. It's also the most ASMR reality show because it's all about strategy and scheming, and you've got a bunch of people living in a house together for the summer, competing in challenges and socializing. And a lot of the times people get together and they'll whisper to each other about, like, who they're gonna put up, who they want to backdoor. And it is just my childhood nostalgia favorite. I've been watching it ever since it premiered. It premiered the year I was born, and my parents started watching it, so I literally grew up watching it every summer with my dad. And I kind of fell off for a few years, like when I was in college, but I've been back at it ever since Taylor's season, like 3 seasons ago. So today I'm going to talk about the contestants of season 26. I am all the way up to the most recent eviction, so just letting you know if you don't want spoilers, because there might be minor spoilers, but I have every single house guest's name written down, and I'm just gonna go kind of speed run and give you my thoughts on all of them. So first is Angela. Angela is my queen. I'm rooting for her to win. That is because she's from Utah. She's from Syracuse, Utah, which is actually where I went to middle school. And she's just your classic Utah mom. She reminds me of one of my aunts. And she's messy, she's silly, she is the PTA terror, and I love everything about her. She's my queen. She kind of has like the worst social game, but she's slaying it, and that's everything to me. Next, we have Brooklyn. Brooklyn was the mom baddie who went home pretty early. She, I think, had a lot of big plans and could have went really far, but probably got too involved too quickly. Then we have Tucker. Tucker is fine, y'all. That man. He was also who I was rooting for to win. I mean, he owned the first few weeks of this game. He was the player to beat. That man was winning comp after comp after comp. And all of his veto meetings, you never knew what he was gonna do. It was so fun. It felt like I was watching like a new version of Dan almost. And that's a compliment. You know, that's a very high compliment in the Big Brother world. But I think he played too hard, too quick. And obviously the second you have a chance to get him out, you gotta get him out. So I would love to see him come back for another season. That would be CBS, bring him back. Next we have Mackenzie. Mackenzie has really grown on me. I'm also kind of rooting for her to get far in the game. I like her, and she's got a few comp wins. She's constantly serving face. I'm like, oh my god, girl, and he's a cop. That's all I gotta say. Matt, I mean, look, Angela kind of read him for filth. I don't even have to, she already took his trash out. I don't even gotta say anything about Matt. Chemo, I really do like Chemo. I felt so bad for Chemo in week 1 when he was on the block, and he was like trying to get people to keep him in. And they were just like, go get that veto. Like, I felt so bad, but now I think he's actually positioning himself really, really well, and I think he could go really, really far in the game. Then we have Lisa, my glitter fairy millennial princess queen. Everyone hated her ass. Why did everyone hate Lisa so much? I felt kind of bad for her. Sometimes you girl boss a little too close to the sun, and they don't want to see it. They don't want to see it, Lisa. Rest in peace, Lisa. Quinn, good riddance. That's all I'm gonna say. Good riddance. Good riddance. I've never seen someone with a worse social game. I think, to be fair, Quinn is just really, really, really bad at lying. He's just bad at lying. And there's not much you can do about that. So, I'm glad he's gone, though. I didn't enjoy him. Rubina, I just find her kind of annoying. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I'm just gonna find her kind of annoying. I am sad that they kept her over Decor. I'm gonna miss Decor. Her accent threw me for such a fucking loop for the first few weeks. I was like, girl. But she really grew on me. I so badly want to know how she crochets her hats. Like, they are so cute. I want one of them. But yeah, so those are all my opinions on the Big Brother season 26 cast. So I'm hoping that Angela or Mackenzie wins. I think that's such a strange pairing in the beginning. I actually really like Tom. I can't help but kind of enjoy him in these early seasons. Obviously, I know of Scandival, but I'm not there yet, okay? So no spoilers, please. No spoilers, please. Obviously, I know now that him and Kristen have, they've broken up. And then season 2, he gets with Ariana, or maybe it's the beginning of season 3, Ariana. So the Tom, Kristen, Ariana triangle of it all. I did like Tom in the beginning. I thought he was funny. Love that he's just like, he uses makeup all the time. Kristen, I think, is kind of just frustrating. She's annoying. She reminds me of my old roommate. And I hate that bitch, so I kind of just like don't like Kristen very much. I really thought that she was a victim through most of season 2, and then when you find out at the end of season 2 that she slept with Jax, I'm like, it ruined any positive thoughts that I had about her. So yeah, I actually really love Ariana. She is kind of new to the show, to me, where I'm at, but she provides a lot of like dry humor, and she has the craziest hairstyles. I'm like, girl, she loves a fishtail braid. But I really like Ariana, so I just don't understand anything Kristen does. Like, I can't understand her behavior. So yeah, but I like Ariana, and I feel neutral about Tom right now. He's in the doghouse, but I do think out of the men, he is my favorite, because next we're gonna get to Tom, loser, fucking Schwartz, and Katie. I feel bad for Katie. Katie is probably the most wholesome cast member, and I feel like she just gets kind of gaslit by everyone else all the time. On the other hand, someone stupid enough to date a man like Tom Schwartz kind of deserves what's coming for you, because God, Tom Schwartz is a man-child. I cannot believe he is an unemployed loser who likes to call women bitches and throw drinks in their faces. Meanwhile, he can't hold down a job for a single shift. He's a man-child. He's literally incompetent, and Katie needs to just stand the fuck up and walk away. It's so embarrassing. I hate Tom. He's just annoying. He's just like a little gnat that's like like buzzing around. You want to kill it. Jax is definitely the villain. He's literally like the sociopathic himbo, whereas Tom is just like that annoying guy you dated in high school that you just never want to think about again. You're like, oh my god, why did I even do that? You know? So yeah, I kind of feel bad for Katie though. And then Sheena,